It's an economy that, of course, are in deficits because we spend an awful lot of money into the defense and military sector. But we have help from friends, meaning the IFIs, but also the different states who contribute with a lot of funds into Ukraine. So the economy in itself is actually positive, right? It's on surplus. We have a GDP growth of around 3.5%, and we have corporates who would like to continue to invest, and we have people who like to consume. So you don't really see the big difference in the daily life, unless the war, so to say. Differences or similarities, a lot are similar, but the difference I see is actually that meanwhile in Europe and Sweden we have a little bit more long-term perspective because we are allowed to have it. Meanwhile in Ukraine, who has a very turbulent history, they don't really dare to look into the future as long as we're doing in the rest of Europe. So it's a little bit more short-sighted. First of all, we are very happy to have a corporate sector who continue to import, export, and therefore there is need for this type of trade finance products in different shapes and forms. Of course, the international banks have to some limited the risk capacity to Ukraine meanwhile it's war. I think that's quite naturally. Although the need is still there. So the corporates are coming to us, which we are the largest bank, and they expect us to help them in facilitate their trade and keep up those relations, because trade relations need to be there for a long time and the currency flows. So what we have done is that we, together with EBRD, is working in a program to facilitate. It's called the Trade Facilitation Program. And in that we actually then EBRD help us to ensure that we are creditworthy towards international banks, and by doing that then we can continue to issue documents and run it as a normal business. And this creates a lot of other opportunities, I would say, both post-import, export finance products, but also we have another facility with EBRD, a normal risk-sharing facility, and that is not only loans, that can be used for bank guarantees or for trade finance products as well. So I must say EBRD has helped us a lot during the years to keep up normality for the corporates in Ukraine. That's correct. I think all of these international IFIs want to work with us, but EBRD is, I would say, the most advanced because they have been in the country for a long time, and they know us and they know the country, and that helps. It's a very large facility, 600 million euros, but it's not coming out of the blue. Already 2023 we had the first one in 240 million. Last year we had another one in 400. This year we hopefully will get one then on 600 million. And that is because we are a largest bank. We have contact with the whole sector of corporates, and we spend the risk facility. That's why we increase it every year. We have a lot of built-up trust in between us and EBRD in processes, in how we view risks. We have a very low NPL, 2.7% of the portfolio, which I would say is more or less nothing in a country in war. And we're building different type of reporting, and we also help each other with, I would say, advice and developing both their capacity and our capacity. So the benefit of this is, of course, the corporates of Ukraine who can continue to do all of these things. And hopefully more IFIs will contribute with the funding as well. But the country as such is into three sectors. They are into agriculture, which is huge, and that's actually the largest export facilitator of Ukraine, with all grain and sunflowers and so on. And then we have, and that continues to grow. We have also mining, although most of the mining was on the side which is now occupied by Russia, so that is shrinking. And then we have oil and gas, but oil and gas is more for domestic purposes, and it's very much state regulated. So looking back to what can we do, we can't do so much, honestly, because hedging is not forbidden but temporarily halted in Ukraine because the central bank would like to have controls of the currency flows. So we instead try to help them with working capital facilities. Of course, sometimes in hryvnia, which is the local currency, sometimes in euro dollar, but that is what we can do. And then some of the larger ones, they actually have business abroad. Then they of course hedge, but not with private bank. But I think we try to cope with this in a good way. We have 1,100 branch offices, and of course a lot of those are around the front line. We have a rule that we say is somewhere around 40-50 kilometers. When they're closer to that, then we close them. But we try instead to help both our customers, the corporates, the private individuals, and our employees by different type of security and protection. That's really important that we try to keep it up. And it's not only us in management or the government who wants it, it's actually the people who are living in this city or this village or our employees. They are really hesitant to close it, because when you close a branch, when you close the shop where you buy groceries, then it's over. So everyone tries to be there as long as possible, and I try to visit, and of course I'm afraid when I visit so close and you have all these air alarms. We have 50% of the time the branches is open, 50% of the time you try to go into shelter. So it's a different environment, of course, but I'm very positive, and I thought actually when I come there I will like to give energy, but they give me so much energy because they are so fantastic. So yeah, we continue as long as it's needed. I think we will win this sooner or later.